after this.
What if you could magically split your phone in half and have one for personal calls and one for business calls? And what if the business side of your phone came with a receptionist? 2 phone lines, 1 phone, magic. Add an extra phone line to your mobile just for business. Try eVoice free for 60 days. Go to evoice.com and enter promo code MAGIC.
If you're a small business owner, now there's a fast and secure way to qualify for a low-cost SBA loan right online. We're Smart Biz Loans, rated best place to apply online for an SBA loan. We'll help you pre-qualify for up to $350,000 of working capital, or even up to $5 million to buy your building.
We have a 10-year loan. Our repayment is only $1,600 a month.
Now with the SBA loan, we're only paying 6%, and I can afford that.
Apply now at smartbizloans.com. SBA loans made easy.
You struggle. You're so far away. Just bending over to put on your socks is brutally painful every day. Well, not anymore. Introducing Sock Slider, the pain-free, no bend-over way to comfortably put on your socks every day. Just place your sock on the cradle, lower the cradle to the floor, and slide your foot in. It's that easy. Sock Slider puts the socks on for you, so bending over is something you never have to do. The secret is the unique cradle design that expands the sock opening and places it in the perfect position, so all you have to do is slide your foot in. Then when you want to take them off, the Sock Slider makes that easy too. All your favorite socks can be put on without frustration. Call or visit our website today and we'll give you the special price of the day. You can get the complete Sock Slider system for just $19.99. And so you can give one to your parents, grandparents, or friend in need, you can get a second one free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Call or visit our website at sockslider.com. This offer is not available in stores, so visit our website now to get yours.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Many people with Medicare may be able to get extra benefits and don't even know they're available. You may be able to get dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline to see if you can get the extra benefits you deserve. The Medicare Coverage Helpline is now accepting calls. You may be able to get extra benefits, including dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Making sure you go to the doctor and taking all your medications as prescribed can help protect your health. To make it easier, you may now be able to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes coverage for dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Help protect your health by choosing the right plan for you and get all the benefits you deserve.
Call to see if you may be able to get extra benefits, including dental, vision, and prescription coverage. Don't miss the annual election period deadline for Medicare Advantage. Call now. Call 800-497-5903. That's 800-497-5903.
Welcome back. Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. We are going to go back to phones, 844-707-5533. Rapid Fire Friday. I just want to mention, remember I said it looks like the NASDAQ's going to open pretty good because of what has happened in the technologies. I wasn't expecting 1.1% good. It's up 72 points right now. The Dow has actually turned negative. The Dow's down 6. The S&P is up 8. But NASDAQ, the driver today, that is for certain. So it looks like the Dow is treading water a little bit. I think it's going to turn around, but it did already. The Dow's now positive, up by 2. But the NASDAQ technology stocks are having a really good run yesterday. So that apparently is continuing on right now. GDP growth came in better than forecast at the first look at 3%, and it looks like there's forward momentum that it could even be better. Folks, just a reminder, this would be 3 quarters. If we can end up after 3 quarters above 3%, 3.1%, based on what is going on right now and the mere notion that we could very likely get tax reform, we could see this year. And by the way, just so you know, I mean, for complete disclosure, I was not in this camp of over 3% GDP this year at all. I'd like to say I was. I wasn't. I didn't think that was going to be a possibility. I might have thought it was January, but by June, I wasn't. So that would be huge. That would be a great way to enter 2018. That would mean that we are likely to see 3.5% in 2018. Just for the record, I was not 3.5% in 2018. I remember having a conversation with Charles Payne, and we were talking about this on Fox Business, and I said, I got to tell you, Charles, I'm not in this 3.5% GDP growth, at least until 2019. And he said, yeah, I agree with you. I'm not there either. So, but we could easily be there if we end up this year at 3% GDP growth. All right, let me go to phones. Let me go to Diane. Diane is calling us from Virginia. Hey, Diane.
Hi, Dan. I'm a member. I'm a partner. And my question is, I have an annuity that I'm losing money in because I've been on the fixed strategy all the time, and now I have a chance to change my strategy. I have 1 year point-to-point, 1 year point-to-point participation SPX, 1 year point-to-point SXSE, 1 year point-to-point HSI, 1 year average SPX, 1 year multi-index SPX, HSI, SXSE, and 1 year monthly cap. And I have no idea what any of those mean. I hope you do.
So how much longer do you have before you could possibly be drawing from this money or using it for your retirement?
Well, I'm old enough that I'm having to take the money out, and that's why I'm losing money. I'm losing my balance because I'm having to take out more than I was earning. And truthfully, I don't remember.
Okay, so I would have some concern. I mean, I don't know the. I know you're concerned about not making anything, but I don't want you to be too awfully aggressive. But I would like to see you with 30% of your money there in something that is a total index fund at least, so that you have an opportunity for some growth. I would rather see you at some point in time when you're first of all certain that you are out of surrender charges. I would like to see you be at a place where you are going to begin moving some of that money, get into some things where you can get income on a regular basis. You know, I talked to somebody last night here in Columbus that just happened to be thanking me for some of the preferred stocks and utilities, and he was just saying, I feel like $1 million. First of all, I'm shocked that I'm able to do this on my own. Yes, my value is down a little bit in a couple of those, but I don't really care. I'm getting this income check 4 times a year going into my money market. I'm drawing every month out, and I'm taking out less money than I'm earning, and I feel great about it. And that's the kind of situation that I would like everybody to be in. So when you're at a surrender charge, there may be a call for you at some point to move out of that. Listen, I'll say this for everybody listening. So I hope, anyway, I hope that helps you a little bit, Diane. It's hard for me to talk back and forth here because of the delay. But let me just say to everybody listening, because this is important. I often talk about when you retire and you need to move your 401k out into an account that you have options, or if you're in an annuity where you're like Diane and you're limited. It sounded like she read off a lot of different options that she has, but unfortunately, those options just aren't good enough. Number one, and I'm putting aside for a moment biblically responsible. You all know my first and foremost concern is that you be biblically responsible, that you would be honoring the Lord with all that you are doing and all that you are giving and investing, and I want you to be biblically responsible first and foremost. Secondly, you gotta have options. We don't live in a world today from a market perspective that you can just have a few options and get by. You cannot do that. You've got to make sure that you are going to have options. Listen, If you want to go into CDs, you got to have an option to do it. If you want to go in a money market account because you're a little nervous, you got to be able to do it. And you've got to do it without it costing you any money. You've got to be able to make that move. If you want to be really aggressive because you've heard me talk about, I think, by the way, I haven't talked about this, I'm just making this up. But if you say, I've been listening to Dan and he really thinks that the international market is really going to be on fire and going to do well, I feel like I got to put a little bit of money in there. You've got to have the option to do that. You've got to have options. And it's very, very important that you have options to be able to draw on income, to make income, and to be able to take that income on a regular basis. So I want everybody to make sure that when they are in retirement, when they are withdrawing their money, they have options. Diversification, I must have reiterated this about 5 times last night at our town hall meeting. Diversification is key. You got to have options. You should have a little money in a charitable gift annuity. You should have a little money in cash doing nothing. Yes, it's only earning 0.5% of 1%. That's fine. You should have some in there. You've got to have some money in some fixed income and some income producing, some good high quality stocks, some great high quality mutual funds, and so on and so forth. So very, very important. Let me go to Russell. Russell is calling us from Texas. Hey, Russell.
Morning, Dan. I have 2 questions for you.
Good morning.
First off, I'm 34 years old, and I have a 401k at work through Wells Fargo. Currently, I have 80% in their stable return fund and 20% in their 2040 fund. So my question is, should I increase my contributions in the 2040 fund or just sit tight?
Is it a Wells Fargo 2040 fund? It's their own fund?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, you've got to be a little bit more aggressive, Russell. I would want to see you, I'm not a fan of Wells Fargo and I'm not a fan of their funds, but at the same time, you've got to get cut. I would want to see that stable value fund be between now and next week sometime. I would like that see that go to about 50%. In the next month and a half, I would like to see you make another move and get that down to 40%. Sometime at the end of the year, I would like to see you get that down to about 20%. So gradually start moving some of that out of the stable value. Start now, move some of that out of the stable value, and move over into the 2040 fund. Yes, the 2040 fund is fairly aggressive, but it ought to be at your age. And I think in the long run, it's going to serve you well. Look, if the market comes down, or I should say, when the market comes down and we see this pullback, you're obviously, the 2040 fund is going to go down a lot further and a lot more than the stable value fund is going to go down. That's okay. That's a time to maybe even take more out of the stable value and start putting it in to the 2040 fund. You've got to have an attitude, Russell, that you're looking at this thing as, man, the market is crashing. That is awesome, because I am now able to get that 2040 fund on sale. I'm going to get more shares of it for my money. I ought to put more money into it, because the name of the game at your age is accumulating shares, and you're going to be able to do that in the long run. That's going to pay off for you. So I think you've got to start making that change now.
I'll sure do that. My second question is, I also have a Roth IRA at a local bank. It's just making 0.5%, and it matures next month. So it's on a 6-month renewal term right now. So when I go to put more money into that account, should I lock it in for a longer renewal term, or just kind of stay on something short term? I would,
I'll tell you, I would only do it short term. If you're going to stay in CDs, only do it short term. I would rather see you, if you're making contributions to it, only if you're making contributions to it, sounds like you are. I'd rather see you move the Roth over to a Timothy plan or something like that, where you can get into some emerging markets, some international funds, different things to be even again a little bit more aggressive. But that's fine if you're risk adverse, stay where you are, but short term only because rates are going up.
He made me come, but I loved it. The town hall meeting with Dan Celia is a place where you're going to find out information that you won't get anywhere else. Honestly, he's the only person that I can really trust with any kind of financial advice.
I believe that Dan is really speaking from the heart. I think that he has definitely done the research and he understands what's going on, not only with the finances, but with the country in general.
I think young people should care about finance because right now we are in $18 trillion in debt. And that's not my parents' debt, that's my debt now.
The team that comes with him is awesome, and you get a chance to actually meet everybody.
And he has a really good presentation. He's very winsome and very engaging.
Definitely take his knowledge and then go out and do something with it.
Hi, I'm Dan Celia from Financial Issues. I hope you can join us for one of our upcoming town hall meetings. It's a lot of fun, it's free, and I know you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll register today.
What two items do you always have with you? Your phone and your wallet. Now they go even better together thanks to the Atomic Charge Wallet, the best wallet you'll ever own. And watch this, it can even charge your phone. The Atomic Charge Wallet has a rugged aluminum casing that can withstand drops and shocks and is lined with the latest RFID blocking technology. Yet it's so lightweight, it floats away with this balloon. The Atomic Charge Wallet holds everything you own, yet it's so slim it can slip easily into a purse or pocket. The next time your phone starts to die at the worst possible moment, simply plug your Atomic Charge Wallet into your phone.
Act now to get your Atomic Charge Wallet for just $19.99. But wait, order now and you can get a second one absolutely free. There's no additional charge to ship it to you. Just $19.99. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-413-3921 to get your Atomic Charge Wallet. So call 1-800-413-3921 or go to AtomicChargeWallet.com.
News.org.
The opinions and recommendations expressed by Dan are his own and do not necessarily represent the opinions of this station or any of the show's sponsors.
Welcome back, Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. It's Friday. It's Rapid Fire Friday. We're trying to move through his calls as quickly as we can. I apologize. Interacting with the callers is a little bit of a delay, so it's a little bit hard, but we'll do the best we can. We are coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. So we did our town hall meeting last night here. There were hundreds of people that came out again here in Columbus. It was a wonderful time. We had a great time. Lots of energy in the room. It was great. So I sure do appreciate it. I'm excited about, always feel great about our town hall meetings. They're always so uplifting. So I was really excited. I thank all of you from the Ohio area. Some of you driving 2 or 3 hours to come to this town hall meeting. Just remind you all to check out Florence, Alabama. If you live anywhere near there, we're going to be there in a couple weeks doing a town hall meeting, so I hope you'll come out. All right, 844-707-5533, 844-707-5534. Let's go back to phones. Let me go to Ray. Ray is calling us from Oregon. Hey, Ray.
Hello, Dan. Thank you very much for everything you're doing, sir.
Good morning.
I'm a convert, and happy to be in your camp. I've been moving some money in an IRA. I moved into a Schwab account. However, they won't let me buy Timothy funds. They give me a message that the funds are closed to new investors, so they won't execute the purchase for me. Can you help me out with that?
Yeah, well, first of all, I despise that message. They do it very intentionally to discourage people that want Timothy not to go somewhere else so they can get Timothy. Timothy has never closed a fund, and they never will close a fund. None of their funds are closed-end funds. Every one of them are open-end funds, and they will stay open-end funds. So, but they've been throwing that deceit out there for 3 years now, and it drives me crazy. So that's not true, and you can tell them I said that. You can tell them that I said that to millions of people that it is intentional deceit on Schwab's part because they don't want people to go somewhere else in order to buy Timothy. So you can tell them I said that. I don't mind at all because that's exactly what it is. So anyway, the only thing I can tell you about that is there are a couple funds that they'll never have with Timothy. Israel Fund really gets under their crawl. That's another reason why they're not going to embrace Timothy. You know, Schwab being probably, if it's possible, a little bit more left-leaning and liberal than some of the other organizations. So there's nothing you can do about that except these things. You can transfer some of that money, the portions that you want, directly. It all doesn't have to go into Schwab, or if it is already, you can transfer it back out again. It doesn't cost you anything, and move some of it directly to Timothy. You can change the whole account, again, doesn't cost you anything, just a little bit of aggravation to start over again, and move it all to Fidelity, where you can buy any Timothy fund you want. You can do that, plus do all the other things you want to do. Frankly, Fidelity has more options in general anyway, but that is a little bit annoying because you're already set up there. So they're the only two options that you have to be able to do anything about it. But none of the funds with Timothy are closed. So I don't know, other than that, what to tell you about that, Ray.
Thank you again. You have said so well exactly what I was hoping you would say. I want people to understand, although Schwab is an inexpensive route to go, I was unaware of this bias when I made the switch. So I'm hoping other people will take that into consideration before they choose which fund family to put their the 401ks and their IRAs into. One further question: you talked about moving part of the funds
sure
into another brokerage. Can I do that all within the same IRA?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you can just move, any piece at all of that IRA. So say you have an IRA that's $5,000 and you want to move $1,000 because that's the $1,000 you want to do something else with. But yeah, you can move that out, and once you set the account up at wherever you're moving it to, whether it's Fidelity or Timothy, and you can just move, and they'll work the transfer out for you, not Schwab, but wherever you're going. They'll give you a form, and that'll just transfer over. But yeah, that works fine.
God bless you, sir. Have a great week.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, and thank you for those words of wisdom. I'm glad you pass that along to everybody because it needs to be said. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, good stuff. And there are still some mutual fund companies too, or not mutual fund companies, but there are some organizations out there that are so over the top, thinking that they've got to be at all costs this perfectly politically correct to appease everybody on the left, that even if they carry some of the Timothy funds, they won't carry their Israel fund. Now, Timothy has said that to me, that if we took the name Israel out and called it a Middle East core values or something like that, it wouldn't be a problem. And they're not going to do that, by the way. They won't do that. But that's how the anti-Semitic views and how they have grown over the last 10 years are absolutely off the chart. Maybe it would be better put if I said anti-Israel, but nonetheless, that's what's going on. Let me go to James. James is calling us from North Carolina. Hey, James.
Hey, how you doing, Dan? Appreciate you taking my call. I have a 14-year-old, and I was wondering if I could set up a Roth IRA for her.
You can do that. You can set that Roth IRA account up. She would be able in latter years to use that for some of her educational expenses if she wanted to, and she would be able to use that even to buy a home without the early withdrawal penalty. So there's some upside there, but yes, you can do that. Does she have any earned income yet? Probably not. Maybe.
Well, we have a
maybe next
family
year.
farm here, and I pay her in the summertime.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
the fund she contributed would need to be backed up by a W-2.
Well, if you're opening that up for her as a minor, which you would be doing, you can put money in there, you know, any way you want. It won't matter. But at some point in time, yes, you will have to do that.
Parents had given her money over the years for Christmas and birthdays. Could she fund it with that money?
Yes, she could. Yes, you could open it up with that money. Just keep in mind when you think about young people, this goes for everybody listening, and you think about young people and what you might do there, keep in mind that they're young and they're going to go through a lot of life changes. The life changes could include, some kind of higher, some education after high school, whether it be a trade school or some other kind of school. Maybe it is going directly into the workforce, which is great, but it might include someday they have to move. Maybe they need to, maybe they get married, they're going to want to buy a house or build a house or something like that. So there's always going to be some life changes. So you've got to be careful that 100% of your or not yours, but hers, 100% of her concentration shouldn't be all about retirement savings. Yes, it is awesome, and you want to encourage her to be thinking about her future and start an IRA, a Roth IRA, to start a Roth IRA. You always want to encourage that, but I wouldn't want to see everything that she earns in the next 15 years or 10 years going into that. I would like that if there's a savings account, because remember, this is not a savings account. You can't just dip in and out of it like you can another account. There are too many restrictions. So I just want you to be conscious of that this shouldn't take the place of savings for other things in her, we'll call it immediate future. This is savings for her retirement future. So make sure that there's a separation in the way she thinks about that and a commitment to save as well. So she needs a commitment to give, a commitment to stay out of debt or at almost any cost, and to save and to contribute for her IRA, and in that order, I would say. So hopefully that helps you a little bit, James. Thank you so much. Great question. I sure appreciate that. Great stuff. Folks, we have two lines open, 844-707-5533. We've got two lines open, and we have 2 more hours on a Rapid Fire Friday. So cue your call up right now. We're going to get to phones. We're going to stay with phones for the next 2 hours. 844-707-5533. Don't forget, hashtag FISM Live. You can put a question there. Don't forget to post your question through Facebook if you're watching us on Facebook, and if you are, thank you. Don't forget YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, in the chat side, put your question there on YouTube as well. Lots of ways to get to us and ask us those questions. Hope you'll do that. Financial Issues, I'm Dan Celia. We're going to be right back after this break.
It is the small businesses that create new jobs and get the economy moving. Entrepreneurs that work every day to create new places for us to explore and new ideas to make our lives easier. Join Biz Talk News as we discover the men and women who make things happen. Biz Talk Discovery airs Monday through Friday at the top of the hour on Biz TV. Find out more by going to biztv.com/discovery.
You are watching Biz TV.
The food lover's heart, the book lover's heart, the art lover's heart, the coffee lover's heart, the nature lover's heart, the animal lover's heart, the music lover's heart, all of them happy, healthy, but the heart of someone with pulmonary hypertension, PH for short, labors. PH puts unbearable stress on the heart, which can cause death from heart failure. There is no cure, and PH is often misdiagnosed as a less threatening disease, such as asthma. But with early, accurate diagnosis, new treatments are helping people with PH live longer and better. The Pulmonary Hypertension Association gives hope to PH patients and caregivers. We want people with PH to enjoy their yoga lover's heart, their island lover's heart, their lover's heart. We're putting our heart into finding a cure. To learn more, go to phassociation.org.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
The reason I chose eHarmony was honestly because you had to pay to be on there, and I felt like the people who were on there obviously really value a relationship.
For my family, we are 3 for 3 and our siblings for getting married. Thank eHarmony for that. We've all found our best match in life.
Go on eHarmony every day, check your matches, see who's out there, actually invest some time in the process, and it will work.
Stop waiting. Start communicating for free today.
This is BizTalk Discovery, and I'm Carl Wolfenden. This innovative way to modernize your bathroom will help you become more eco-friendly.
Mountain Line Distributing, it's a small company. We've been in operation since 1991 and selling composting toilets. I guess we are probably the foremost expert in Sunmar composting toilets in the United States. They can be installed anywhere, in a basement, in an attic, if you want to make a mother-in-law room up in the attic. You can put these in because there's no plumbing involved. I bought mine 28 years ago. I didn't think it was going to work. And it's installed 10 foot away from my nose from when I'm sleeping. But I was surprised, and pretty soon I had to say, honey, this thing is really awesome. It turns everything into a very nutrient-rich compost that you put in your garden. Most of my clients buy these for cabins. I have a customer who bought one and put it in his 18-wheeler. And I says, it can't fit that thing in there. It's too big. He says, you'd be surprised how big those berths are in the 18-wheeler. And so he's got this in an 18-wheeler, so he doesn't have to stop.
Have you been denied credit or hit with high interest rates? A low credit score happens to many of us, and millions of people are victims of incorrect items on their credit reports and don't even know it. That's why you need credit repair now. Our proven process has resulted in past clients seeing on average 11 negative items removed from their credit report and a 40-point increase after the first 4 months in our program. Call now and request your credit report and credit score for free in minutes.
Call 1-800-329-7790.
.org. Dan Celia.
I want to be a nation that is on the biblical principles and the values and the ethics that are found in Scripture.
Your personal economy. Financial issues that you need to know. Aligning reality with truth.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers.
Now, here's your host, Dan Celia.
Welcome back, Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. It's great to be here. Welcome to all of you joining us for the second hour. If you are just joining us here for the second hour, we are in Columbus, Ohio. I'm broadcasting live here from Columbus. We did a town hall meeting here. We had hundreds of people. We had a great time. I've been to Columbus. I think this is my 4th time. Might be my 5th. I think it's the 3rd time here at this venue. We were somewhere else in the very beginning. So this would be my 5th time over the last 10 years. I've been in Columbus, Ohio, and every time we come here, we have an unbelievable crowd. There are a few places in the country, Columbus, Ohio, Richmond, Virginia, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Rogers, Arkansas. There are a number of places where I feel like I could go every month and I would fill the place. So just a great following, some great people, and I was so excited to see so many people. We had some couples here, some people that were here that were at our retreat in Branson, and we got a chance to talk with them, and was so excited to see them. It was great, and people that you recognize that have been to every single town hall meeting that we've ever had here. So it was great, and I sure appreciate the loyal and the faithful Financial Issues people. It is unbelievable as I travel around the country how many people are just so committed to what we are trying to do, and so grateful to help the ministry and what we're about and what we are striving to do. You know, I am always reminded in an environment like that how grateful I am for God's answered prayer. One of the things that we have prayed about in the ministry, that I have prayed about from the very first day I went on the radio 20 years ago in February, it was 20 years ago, and that I prayed that I wouldn't have to go to a seminar, do a seminar or a town hall meeting or speak, and go with these 3 tables of books that I have to sell in order to support the ministry, or I wouldn't have product like life insurance or annuities, or push them to a certain brokerage firm or investments because the ministry was getting something about that. Prayed I would never have to sell gold or silver or anything that I didn't believe in. All I wanted to do was to teach people to be biblically responsible, to honor God, not to grieve his heart by putting his money into the very things that are in conflict with his word. And we have been able to do that for 20 years. It has been an incredible blessing, and people give to this ministry on a very faithful and regular basis, and because of that, God has raised up more opportunities for us to increase our megaphone so that we can help more people, and it is just amazing. 85%, I'm going to guess, we haven't even started our audit for our last fiscal year, which ended September 30th. And I suspect that this last fiscal year, that it's going to be over 87%, 88% of our support comes from our partners and viewers and listeners that contribute. That's where the vast majority, that is the reason why we're able to be on the air right here, is because of all of you. And I am so grateful to that. And that's all of God. I know that for certain. It is rapid fire. We are going to get to phones, 844-707-5533. We've got an hour and 45 minutes, a little more than an hour and 45 minutes here. All the indices right now are in positive territory, but listen to this. The NASDAQ's been getting beat up a little bit this week. It is up 100 points. This is the NASDAQ, folks, not the Dow. 100 points for the NASDAQ is about 1.5% increase. That is significant. 100 points for the Dow isn't even a half of 1%. So this is very significant. We're seeing technology stocks, the Microsofts, Intels, Amazon, Apple. We're seeing some of these technology stocks doing very good. Advanced micro devices, that's another one. Making money. They're actually making money. Forget about having good earnings reports. That's a wonderful thing. Forget that. They're making money. They're actually selling more stuff. Innovative technologies coming out where they have opportunities for significant growth. So very good earnings season for technology and a good earnings season in general. We get a 3% if you're just listening to this second hour. For all of you just tuning into this, we had a 3% first look at third quarter GDP. They were expecting 2.7%. That is a significant change. And we ended the year at the end of the second quarter, the first half of the year, at 3.1% GDP growth, which in and of itself is amazing. It has been 16 years since we've seen over 3%. 16 years. We wonder why we can't seem to get ahead. We've had no growth in this economy, meaning we've had no growth in wages. We've not had the job opportunities that we are going to have in 2018 and wage opportunities that we're going to have in 2018, assuming that the Washington, D.C. does their part for fiscal policy, which they made a great start at that yesterday with passing the Senate budget. Of course, the budget's got to get passed by the Senate. It was their budget. They shouldn't have any trouble passing it. They've got to pass it. The president's got to sign it. But nonetheless, we have a budget for the first time in 6 years. We've been working on continued resolution. We now have a mechanism, a means, a yardstick, however you want to put it, in order to hold accountable our legislators. We can say, hey, you guys passed this. How did you go over by, a couple $1 billion? We have a budget now for the first time in a very long time, which means it's an accountability piece. More importantly, the lack of a budget would be a stumbling block, a big stumbling block, maybe even an insurmountable stumbling block to get tax reform. So that stumbling block is gone out of the House of Representatives right now, and I pray that it will be gone out of the Senate. So we have a clear pathway to prove tax reform. There's going to be little, if any, excuse not to pass tax reform. So we'll see. It's definitely going to get through the House. The House is saying before Thanksgiving. I would suspect it might be in the next couple of weeks. It might be a week before Thanksgiving. Get it over to the Senate. The Senate can get that thing passed, hopefully in the couple weeks after that, and we will have tax reform by the end of the year. When that happens, this New Year's Eve will be a time to celebrate. 2018 New Year is going to be a year from an economic perspective that we are going to want to feel good about and celebrate. That is for certain. So good things on the horizon, hopefully. All the indices in positive territory. The NASDAQ just went over 100-point gain. That's over 1.5%. So pretty amazing to see what is happening with technology stocks. All right, folks, we're going to go to a break. When we get back, we're going to go to your questions on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, hashtag FISM Live, FISM Live. That's our Twitter handle. Are you following me on Twitter? I hope you are. If you're not, make sure that you're following me on Twitter. We sure would appreciate it. So all those opportunities to ask questions. I just want to mention to you as we go to break, so many of you, it happened again last night, have asked me, why aren't I doing this? Why am I not here? Why am I not there? Am I advising the president? Am I doing it? Listen, you're the only ones that can make that happen. I can't make that happen. Don't tell me about it. I can do nothing about it. You can write a note, make a phone call, encourage people to lift this ministry up in a powerful way.
Would you consider taking charge of your financial stewardship while being biblically responsible with God's money? Consider partnering with Financial Issues. For a contribution of $85 a year, you'll get Dan's buy list every Monday morning, receive our regular email alerts, and have access to Dan's asset allocation models. You can ask questions of Dan as part of his market and economic conference call every month. But best of all, you'll be supporting the Ministry of Financial Issues. Would you become a partner today? You won't regret it. Go to financialissues.org. That's financialissues.org.
I pray that I can be a great role model for him. I pray that in these trying times, that I can lead him in a way that I know will leave a godly imprint on his heart forever.
And to show her how to live a life that is pure. I want her to understand how precious life is and to
take care of his body. To eat right and exercise and understand that his body is a temple of God.
I pray that our family will love Jesus, read his word daily, and obey his teaching.
The values that we share should guide us in the way that we invest. Make sure that you are investing in companies whose policies and practices align with pro-life, pro-family values. Visit thetimothyplan.com or call for more information. Advance the kingdom in the way that you invest.
In November of 1620, the Pilgrims came to America with the hope of building a civilization that would one day be a shining city on a hill. At the American Family Association, we believe that dream is still worth fighting for. We believe that marriage was instituted by God, that families are worth preserving, and that every human life is worth protecting. We are the American Family Association.
The opening statement in the Constitution of the United States says this, that we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty. I don't know what part of that we don't get anymore. That was written by men who cared about this country deeply.
Financial Issues with Dan Celia.
Welcome back. Financial Issues, 844-707-5533. Let me just go to Facebook for a moment, and we have, Kurt is mentioning to me from Facebook, from North Carolina. Thank you, Kurt, for watching us on Facebook. Hearing you talk about insurance premiums yesterday. Yes, somebody called in yesterday, or somebody from Facebook said yesterday, their insurance, healthcare insurance, was going up 86%. I forget what state they were in, but it was 86%. It just blows me away. Kurt is saying something very similar. He's saying now his insurance premium, forget about going up. They're canceling it because the policy now is non-compliant. But what non-compliant means is they don't want to make it compliant because it's going to cost them money, and they don't want to spend any more money on it. So it's non-compliant, so they're getting canceled after a lot of years with it. It's a $10,000 deductible policy. Blue Cross Blue Shield has suggested a similar policy for us with slightly higher deductible, higher than, I mean, how much higher can you get it? But anyway, higher deductible. But the policy premiums have tripled the old premiums. Wow. Listen to this, from $795 a month to $2409 a month. Not kidding. Kurt, I'm begging you. please call Samaritan Ministries. Please keep your HSA plan. Just keep it. Call Samaritan Ministries. You're going to save over $2,000 a month. Think about it. $2,000 a month. When my wife and I switched about 3 years ago, we were going through a similar situation. We had a $7,000 deductible, but we ended up saving something like, it was over $1,000. I don't remember, $1,500 a month, I think. $1,500 a month we're saving. And it's been unbelievable. Now, you know, I talk about Samaritan Ministries. They're the only ones that let me fully vet them, and that's why I go with Samaritans. They are been around 25 years. They pay out $40 million a month. That's what the shares are every month, roughly. I think it's 42 million. It's an amazing thing. 250,000 people, quarter of a million people. I mean, it's an amazing program, and there is no reason for anybody that is Christian to be paying those kinds of premiums. It's crazy. Just go to Samaritan Ministries, and guess what? No approvals. You don't have to get anything. You just go to whatever doctor you want to go to. If you go to your family doctor says, you know, you need to get an MRI on your whatever, and you go and get your back MRI. You just go wherever you want to go. Maybe she wants to see a cardiac specialist. You go to a cardiac specialist. You don't have to go through a bunch of pre-approvals. You don't have to go to somebody that's in the network. You can go to the best cardiologist you can find in the country if you want. You can go wherever you want to go. It's really, and this is a plan that is taking us back to the book of Acts, and it is incredible. I can speak from experience of 3 years for both my wife and I. It works. It is an amazing system. So, Kurt, don't even hesitate, brother. SamaritanMinistries.org. SamaritanMinistries.org. You owe it to yourself to at least get some information about it. I know people say, I'm a little reluctant. I don't know about this. We were too. My wife's a nurse. She was really reluctant. You know, she knows a lot more about healthcare than I do, and she was reluctant. She would tell you it's the greatest thing around. So it is amazing. So I urge you to do that. Billy is saying, do you need to have earned income? Billy, also Facebook. Thank you, Billy. Do I need to have earned income to be eligible to contribute to a Roth? Yes. Devin from Oklahoma, Facebook as well. I've inquired into working for a Woodman of the World. Are the products financially, are they self-financially responsible? Yes. Are they financially responsible? Yes. They're a good company. They're fine. They're not biblically responsible, but you know, they've had opportunities to really be sound and financially responsible. When Thriving and Lutheran Brotherhood, Woodmen of the World, when they've all collided and come together, man, I begged them to meet with me. You know, I said, I'm not going to charge you. I just need to sit down with you. You guys have an opportunity of a lifetime here to have do incredible work for the kingdom. And on I went with them. They said, man, we would love to meet you. We would love to do that. The meeting never happened. They chickened out. So anyway, but they're financially, I can't say anything bad about them in that regard. Billy, also Facebook, is saying, so appreciate your show. Thank you. Good morning. I have a credit card debt. I know it's really a bad thing. I also will be needing to do some updates on our home that is 19 years old. What do you think about a home equity loan and lines of credit? Listen, Billy, I'm okay with home equity lines and lines of credit. I'm okay with that. The interest rate is going to be far lower than any kind of credit card that you could use or have. I'm okay with it. I would only caution you about this. Remember that when you get a home equity or a home equity line of credit, You need to understand that most of the time, this is not always the case, but most of the time, Billy, you're only going to be obligated to pay back the interest, to pay the interest. Every month, you'll have to pay an interest. So maybe it's going to be $50, $60. And you really get kind of caught up in that. You're not going to get any reminders from the bank that, oh, by the way, you know, you have this much principal. They don't care. They would hope that you'd never pay a lick of principal on your loan and that you just keep paying the interest. That's their goal. They're not going to remind you of that. I would only caution you, please know that you're paying interest only on that, and you need to put money to the principal every single month of that home equity line. So don't forget that. But other than that, if that's what you need to do, I'm okay with that. You know, assuming you're going to have time to get that paid down and really work hard at getting that paid down. That is critically important. Okay, we're going to go to phones. 844-707-5533. 844-707-5533. Let me go to John in Tennessee. Hey, John. Oops, I didn't put John on. Let me do that.
I just found you on Memphis this first time I called, and I've been excited about listening to it so far. I'm an over-the-road truck driver.
Thank you.
And we get a per diem every night of $59 and 85% of $59 because they every night you're gone. Is the tax cut going to take that away? I know they're taking away a lot of the loopholes and stuff. Or do you know anything? It's like trail and salespeople. They get the same thing.
Yes.
Do you know anything about that? Or
yeah, so I don't know anything specific about that, whether they're going to take that away, that benefit, or take the tax deductible part of that away or not. But I will say this, I believe that they probably are. I believe that's one of the things that they're probably going to take away. I hope I'm wrong about that, but I don't think so. But I wouldn't make any changes or arrangements in any way, shape, or form based on what I've just said, because we don't really know. I would suggest that members of Congress don't even know that. It's one of those things, along with a number of other things similar to that, that they are hammering out. And I don't think that all we know is a scope. We have a scope of what they want to do, some very general kind of basic things. The little things like that aren't even in the scope. They're only in the scope as a generalization that the only tax-friendly things that we are going to keep for individuals is going to be charitable deductions and mortgage interest rate deductions. So that's the only thing in any kind of detail about those kinds of things we have. So unfortunately, John, I got to tell you, we're going to have to wait and see. I think we'll know in the next 3 weeks. We'll have a more detail to the scope when it goes from the House of Representatives to the Senate, and we'll get to see more detail. And it's still not going to be a sure thing because the Senate's going to negotiate things in and out as well. But at least we'll start to get an idea of what they're talking about. And so I think we'll know in about 3 weeks.
I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Okay.
Thank you, John. I appreciate you listening.
What about the 401k deduction? Do you know if that's going to go away? I know President Trump's tweeted on it. That's going to say that's one of those.
Yeah,
don't know.
We don't know. We have no idea what they're saying. There was talk about it going all the way down to $2,500, and President Trump, Brady, the representative from Texas that's part of the House Ways and Means Committee, said just this morning, he said that from what he understands, President Trump wants it increased. He doesn't want to take it away. He wants it increased. Now, President Trump also is going to have to compromise with some things that he wants. So we'll see how that shakes out. I think it would be a real problem if they mess with that too much, other than increasing it. But again, we don't know, and I don't think we're going to know. We're probably not going to know that one or have a good feel for it until the bill is actually said and done and passed by the Senate. So we'll watch it closely, but we don't know yet, John. Thank you for that. I sure do appreciate it. Great stuff. 844-707-5533. We've got one line open. 844-707-5533. It's Friday. It's Rapid Fire Friday. We're trying to move through questions as quickly as we can. We'll be right back after this.
What if you could magically split your phone in half and have one for personal calls and one for business calls? And what if the business side of your phone came with a receptionist? 2 phone lines, 1 phone, magic. Add an extra phone line to your mobile just for business. Try eVoice free for 60 days. Go to evoice.com and enter promo code MAGIC.
If you're a small business owner, now there's a fast and secure way to qualify for a low-cost SBA loan right online. We're SmartBiz Loans, rated best place to apply online for an SBA loan. We'll help you pre-qualify for up to $350,000 of working capital, or even up to $5 million to buy your building.
We have a 10-year loan. Our repayment is only $1,600 a month.
Now with the SBA loan, we're only paying 6%, and I can afford that.
Apply now at smartbizloans.com. SBA loans made easy.
Hi, Kathy Mitchell here with my new Red Copper 5-Minute Chef. You're gonna love the way this kitchen wonder makes delicious home-cooked food in a flash. Making omelets in a fry pan is time-consuming and such a mess. Well, try this. Place in sausage, peppers, egg, and cheese. Then close the lid. No folding, no flipping, and in just 4 minutes, a delicious, light and fluffy omelet. Designed with 2 deep wells, 5-Minute Chef cooks from the top and bottom. So my homemade corn dogs are done